Excellency, distinguished delegates, I'm delighted to join you, delegations from both countries, for the 26th session of the India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission for Trade, Economic, Scientific, Technological and Cultural Cooperation. We are meeting here after about 10 months since the last session in November 2024 in New Delhi. And I think this is perhaps the shortest intervals between two sessions that we've ever had. Over the last 4 years, Excellency, our bilateral trade in goods has increased, as you have noted, from fivefold, from $13 billion in 2021 to $68 billion in 24-25, and it continues to grow. However, a major trade balance has accompanied the growth. It has increased from 6.6 billion to 58.9 billion, which is about 9 times. So we need to address that urgently. Today, as we meet, allow me to lay out some of the salient features of the agenda before us, addressing tariff and non-tariff trade barriers, removing bottlenecks in logistics, promoting connectivity through the International North-South Transport Corridor, the Northern Sea Route, and the Chennai-Vladivostok Corridor, affecting payment mechanisms smoothly, timely finalization and execution of the program of economic cooperation till 2030, the early conclusion of the Eurasian Economic Union FTA, whose terms of reference were finalized today, and regular interaction between the businesses of the two countries. These are among the key elements. They will not only help to address the imbalance and grow our trade, but also hasten the timely achievement of our revised trade target of $100 billion by 2030. Colleagues, we are all acutely aware that we are meeting in the backdrop of a complex geopolitical situation. Our leaders remain closely, regularly engaged. They provide us wise and practical guidance to our special and privileged strategic partnership. They've had 2 in-person meetings last year and are personally committed to further advancing our strategic partnership. Today, as we meet here for the IRIGC-TEC, allow me to make some suggestions on how we can improve our efficiency and rise to the occasion of deepening our economic cooperation. One, the various working groups and subgroups could perhaps take a more creative and innovative approach towards their respective agendas. The challenges posed by the larger landscape that I mentioned require us to do so. And this should be done in a manner in which it works for both sides. So when we speak today, as you did, Excellency, of the smoothness of settlements, of better logistics, of diversifying our trade basket, of creating more joint ventures, of moving on skilling and mobility, these are some of the areas, some examples of what we need to focus on more effectively. Second, we should continuously diversify and expand our agenda through mutual consultation. It should help to tap into the full potential of our trade and investment ties. We should not get stuck on the beaten track. Doing more and doing differently should be our mantras. Third, I would urge that we set ourselves some quantifiable targets and specific timelines so that we challenge ourselves to achieve more, perhaps even surpass what we set out to do. Each working group and each subgroup could apply itself to setting of targets and see what we could achieve by the next session of the IRIGC-TEC. For example, if you are looking at trade barriers, could we pick a certain number and make a commitment? If we have agreed to a certain proposal, can we set a firm timeline for that? So I believe that each working group and subgroup should include at least one possible target and pursue it with full tenacity. I would suggest for your consideration that we should have at least 2 intersessional meetings between the IRIGC sessions. We could also do a virtual midterm review with all the co-chairs like we did in 23. It will certainly help us to take corrective measures and come up with adjustments which are required. To make that happen, I think it would also be useful if we each one designate a clearinghouse for the IRIGC TEC on both sides, who will remain in touch. Finally, we will be, after this meeting, going on to a business session, and I would suggest for your consideration that we could have a coordination mechanism between the business forum and the different working groups of the IRIGC, so that there is a two-way flow between people in the business world and people in the policy world. We would like the IRIGC to become even more result-oriented, relevant, and readily available to the business communities of the two sides. So allow me to conclude by recalling that the IRIGC is a key mechanism to prepare for the annual summit which we expect to hold at the end of this year. And indeed, it's our working, it's what we deliver that really drives the relationship between India and Russia. So I thank you once again for your warm welcome, for your hospitality, for the excellent arrangements for today's meeting. I look forward to our fruitful discussions. Thank you.